And that is quite a bit, considering that Lou Gehrig, a first baseman, like myself, was the Babe's teammate for 14 years. I was born in 1883 in our family home at 321 University Avenue, which, by the way, is still there, and coincidentally is across the street from the firehouse where my grandson, Hal Chase, served as battalion chief. He still lives in town, as does my great-grandson, Brian Chase. When I was growing up in the 1880s and 90s, the Bay Area was the West Coast hotspot for baseball, for both players and fans alike. Los Gatos was no exception. We even had our own diamond. It was a couple of vacant acres at the corner of Los Gatos Boulevard and Loma Alta. The novices at the novitiate had their own diamond, and of course the high school, then on University Avenue, did too. I played for just 1 year at Los Gatos High, but even as a freshman, I was their starting second baseman and ace pitcher. From there I played with several local semi-pro teams, including the San Jose Prune Pickers, and even received a room and board scholarship to play for Santa Clara College as a pay-for-play ringer. The college, now the university, was the best college team in the area and was desperate to defend their reputation, and we did. In the 2 seasons I was there, I never missed a game or made a class. In 1904, at the age of 21, New York's American League team, the New York Highlanders, drafted me. That team eventually became the New York Yankees, the team that I played with for 9 years. In 1911, I was named player manager, and just prior to the 1912 season, I was officially given the team the title of captain, the first such honor for any Yankee. Since then, only 10 other Yankees, including Ruth and Gehrig, have been so honored. From New York to Los Gatos, they called me Prince Hal. I loved it, and they loved me, at least for a while. I started gambling. At first it was petty stuff, small stakes poker, bridge, and shooting pool with my teammates. But eventually I found myself in the big leagues of gambling, betting on baseball games, sometimes even betting against my own team. I approached other players to help me throw the games. So it is not difficult to imagine that it did not take long for word of my shenanigans to spread. New York had had enough of their prince, and in 1914 the Yankees traded me to the Chicago White Sox. I played on 4 teams over the next 5 years as nobody wanted me, which is understandable. I was still bribing players and consorting with lowlifes. However, I was not naive. I suspected that I was about to be fired or traded again. So after the 1919 season, in order to avoid the embarrassment the negative publicity would bring, I quickly and quietly packed my personal belongings and caught the next train to California. In so doing, I was in essence telling my management and detractors, "You can't fire me, I quit." That was my last game in the bigs. In the fall of 1920, I was linked, at least in the media and the public's eye, to what would become known as the Black Sox scandal, a scam in which at least 8 Chicago White Sox players and several underworld accomplices successfully managed to fix the 1919 series in favor of the underdog Cincinnati Reds. Despite having never been questioned by authorities in that matter, let alone being convicted of a crime, several years later I was officially banned for life from Major League Baseball and blackballed forever from the Hall of Fame. I never did get my life back on track. I died penniless in 1947 and was buried at Oak Hill Cemetery in San Jose. Now, before I introduce our next speaker, one of the most successful business persons in this town has ever known, I would like to acknowledge the presence of my grandson, Battalion Chief Hal Chase. Hal?